Hi there, I'm Scott Lowe with ActualTech Media, and today I'm at Edgeworx, where I'm joined by Farah Papaioannou, who is the president and co-founder of the company. Farah, thank you for having us here today.
I'm happy to be here, thank you.
So tell us about Edgeworx. What problem is it that you're trying to solve?
So, we were just talking a little bit earlier about autonomous vehicles. I just gave birth to my son, he's 6 weeks old, and my husband and I were just joking that, this kid is probably not going to have to take a driver's license test because with the rise of autonomous vehicles, he won't need to. Well, how would autonomous vehicles communicate without the edge? To give an example, if you have cars, 4 cars show up at a 4-way stop, the data that they need to generate and to make a decision about who goes first, if we had to send that data all the way back to the cloud, analyze that data, then send the answer back, in that time, who knows what would happen, right? And no one's going to wait that long. So in order to actually do that analysis, the processing, those applications need to be able to run right there at the car, right there at the edge, where the actual action is happening.
So in essence, the edge has to become almost a mini mobile data center for all intents and purposes.
I think that's a great way to put it, yep.
And the reason we can't wait for things to go back to the central cloud is because a quarter of a second when you're on the road versus what's the latency in your solution?
20 microseconds.
So that makes the difference between potentially life and death decision by the vehicle.
Absolutely. You think about driving a quarter of a second is life or death, right?
Absolutely. So what are some other use cases? Well, first of all, let's back up. What is the edge? Because this word is thrown around a lot. How does Edgeworx define the edge in the terms of this kind of technology?
So, there are all these sensors in the world, right? There are these devices. What we like to do is we like to set a layer right above that because we want to be able to aggregate all that data from those devices. Those devices can aggregate each other's data. We want to be able to provide contextual awareness about that data. And then, you can either process that data right there at the edge, or you can send that data back to the cloud if you so choose. We allow that flexibility, right, to run that process right there, which is exactly what you want to do if you want to make decisions in real time.
And what is Edgeworx? Is it a software solution? Is it a piece of hardware that I put in somewhere on these edge devices? What is it actually? Where does it actually run?
So we kind of define ourselves as an edge application platform. We deliver this as the infrastructure as a software. We can run on any piece of hardware that runs Linux, actually now Windows and Mac as well. But something as small as a Raspberry Pi, and you can go all the way up to the NVIDIA Jetson or beyond, right? Whatever you feel like you need to run from a compute standpoint, we can run on top of any infrastructure. But we provide that infrastructure as a software, and the idea is you put down that infrastructure once. It's flexible. You can add more, less, and it allows you to run any applications that you would like. The beauty about what we do is we want to make it as easy to run for the edge as it is for the cloud, stepping away from the cloud, but we want to be able to emulate some of the things that made the cloud so great. And so you can run software that you've already developed. You can write new software that's optimized for the edge. You can run best-in-class software that's been written by some really brilliant people out there. An example of this is when we do image recognition, we just take Google TensorFlow with this neural net prepackaged, and we can push it out to the edge in under an hour, and it runs just fantastically.
So when I buy at the Edgeworx platform, what am I buying? What does it do specifically?
Well, basically you're buying the software infrastructure that allows you to run applications at the edge via microservices. So we've wrote a software stack that abstracts the hardware, that does the data flow, that allows you to start and stop applications, and that allows you to so you can containerize any application via Docker container or unikernel, and then run that right there at the edge on any bit of hardware.
And so when you think about the edge in the context of an autonomous vehicle, you talked about Raspberry Pi, you need to be small, so you can run very small.
Yes.
And when we look, do you support things like GPUs for
Absolutely.
And all that good stuff for lots of analysis?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the type of analysis that you need to do at the edge, it can't just be like small, some people use like small Lambda scripts to do just, modicum level of processing. This is like big boy software. You need to be running big boy applications. If you think about how much data a car generates, I read somewhere a gigabyte of data per second when the autonomous vehicles are up and running. Well, that type of data needs real processing. So yes, we can run on something as robust as a GPU board or something as small as Raspberry Pi Zero. It really depends on the form factor in which you really need to have that delivered.
And it depends on the application, right?
Exactly.
Autonomous vehicles can have a different requirement than something that's not as critical.
Exactly, right.
Very good. Is this available today?
Yes, it is. You can actually go to the Eclipse IOFOG website. We are actually open sourced and under the Eclipse Foundation. So you can go and try it. And you can actually deploy microservices at the edge in under 30 minutes.
And what did you say was the website?
www.eclipse, so there's the IOFOG, which is at the Eclipse iofog.org. And then our own website is www.edgeworx.io.
Very good. Farah, thank you very much for this discussion.
Thank you for having us.
And thank you to our audience for watching this Roadcast video.